The answers for saving the Earth's wild creatures seem easy from the comfortable office chairs of America and Europe. Stop hunting animals. Hunt down the elephant hunters. The US might soon let people import hunted elephants from the African countries of Zimbabwe and Zambia. This has led to a lot of debates on social media websites, both from ordinary people and President Donald Trump. But these conversations don't help. We need a lot less shouting and a lot more listening. We especially need to listen to different voices. How can we help keep the future safe for wildlife? We know that the animal lovers and celebrities will say. We know what the hunting groups will say. We've heard these voices before loud and clear, with the same simple answers. But what might the people and government of Zimbabwe say? What might we hear from the ordinary people who live, raise their children, and make a living alongside elephants and lions? The good and the bad of living with wildlife. People are likely to live with wildlife only when they have the motivation to deal with the costs of doing so. After all, wildlife can be both difficult and dangerous to live around. If wildlife doesn't help the livelihoods of people, it will undoubtedly make ways for activities that do. For people who live alongside elephants, money from tourism and yes, even hunting can provide motivation. Zimbabwe has the second largest population of elephants in Africa at around 83,000. Many live in protected areas, but many others live on agricultural or privately owned lands. These animals are amazing and intelligent, but for humans up close, they are also huge and dangerous. They use up a lot of valuable food and water. Human wildlife conflict is common, with elephants destroying crops, houses, and even killing people. This will only worsen as the needs of people grow. Zimbabwe's human population is among the fastest growing in the world. Almost 2 out of 3 people live below the poverty line. More than 40 million people are facing food shortages this year. Trophy hunting could benefit farming communities. Some people dismiss this idea, but hunting can have benefits for farming communities. It could bring in money. It could sometimes lead to more safe areas for animals being created. Between 2005 and 2010, money from hunting made about 11 million for communities in Zimbabwe. Of this, about 7.5 million came from elephants. The total of all other benefits, including tourism, was 4 million. Tourism can sometimes help to create new safe areas for animals, but only in the right places. Tourists don't often want to travel out of the dusty corners of the country's farming areas. They would have to spend days traveling over bumpy roads with unreliable electricity. Changes afoot from farming to wildlife protection. Some of the money from hunting and tourism will never make it to the right people. Instead, it will go to the rich and well connected. It's far from perfect, but at least hunting and tourism sometimes keep these animals in their homes. In fact, Zimbabwe has recently seen the power of these ideas. A large shift of land use from farming back to wild animals just happened just a few decades ago. Government plans made it possible for businesses and communities to benefit by creating safe areas for animals. Public opinion turning against trophy hunting. But now public opinion is turning against hunting. The money from hunting might go away forever. Without the money, people might not have enough motivation to live alongside wildlife. So what do we do? How do we create a future where giants have space to roam? The first step is to recognize that getting angry from far away never solves the local problems. We need to hear the voices of local people. Well-meaning people in America and Europe need to stop shouting and start listening.